Dumela, Sawubona, Sakpase, Namaste, Upshin, Dubla Otra, Assalamu alaikum, Hotep, Buenas noches, bonsoir. What's going on? This is Doriel Inez, Larrier of Larry's Education and Resource Network. Learn to grow you, where I plant seeds to help you grow. Welcome to another episode of wait, get ready for it. The digital couch. We have mugs now. The digital couch. Welcome so much. I'm so glad to have you here on this episode. This is season 2, episode 9, and we are here to speak about manners. And I'm saying manners because I'm from Brooklyn, and that's how we say it, okay? But my guest tonight is Sister Romunda Guice. She says she's the manners queen. We're going to find out about that, all right? Let's welcome her on to the digital couch. Please remember to have your favorite mug, and now I got my favorite mug, to have your special pen to write down some great notes and also to invite somebody. So we are, of course, here on my personal page, my business page, and also YouTube. So if you know somebody who's watching from one of those streams and you want to have them come on in, please have them come on in and take some notes or share this afterwards. Last thing two things I need for you to do is to be a stream team. If you know what the stream team means, that means that there's something that resonates with you in your heart, mind, or your soul. Please type it in the chat so that we all can share the information. And then if there are questions or comments, we can respond to them either in the stream or at a later time. Last but not least, check your manners. Let's see if we got some. Let's welcome Sister Romunda Guice. Hey, Romunda.
Hi.
Good
How are you
evening. Good
doing?
evening. Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
Doing well.
Doing well. You I. You I. I'm always gonna like clap back tonight because we're talking about manners. We're talking about etiquette. So first, thank you so much for deciding to be on the digital couch tonight. I really appreciate it. Please, I've introduced you as the Manners Queen, but I know that you have an official title. So please start us off with who you are, of course. What do you do? How did you even get into this work? Why is it important? And what is that cute name of your business?
Okay, my name is Romunda Guice, and I am a certified etiquette consultant. The name of my business is Mocha Southern Belle School of Etiquette. I got into this business because I'm a Southern girl. I love all things Southern, all things girly, and I paired that with joining the military, where I learned a lot about customs and courtesies. And through that, I realized that that was something that I felt was kind of dying out in our culture, and I wanted to kind of help bring that back. And I felt, what better way to do that than to become a etiquette consultant? And that's how I started my journey. Um, like I said, a lot of people feel like it's not necessary, or it's not something that we need to continue to do. But I find value in it, and I wanted to help teach it to other people.
So I got stuck on the phrase a certified etiquette consultant. Ho- I'm gonna be facetious during this entire comment, during this entire session, on purpose though. You got to be certified to like fold your napkin and to get your elbows off the table.
You do not have to be certified to fold your
You do
napkin. However, in order to teach a skill, it's important to have the proper training. And although I know a lot of these things, I was taught a lot of these things, still some things can get lost in translation. They can change from going from person to person. So being taught that by a certifying etiquette school was very helpful. That way I knew that whatever I would be passing on would be accurate. Because I want to help people learn the appropriate customs and courtesies And I can't do that if I am not sure that what I'm doing is correct.
Okay. All right. Now I got it. All right. So let's chat about this. Now, I totally understand being a part of the armed forces, and of course there are very, very strict customs, and I guess you call it, uh, I learned this big phrase, the modicum of propriety. You know what is expected of you. That's the only phrase I know how to use. No, it's not. I just love that phrase though, the modicum of propriety. And the protocol that you know to call, which is what we say in church. But how did you use your love for etiquette in the military, which is can be very I'll say stringent and strict and very precise. I remember I'm having like flashbacks of hospital corners, well, making a bed, but then pairing it with the Southern expectations and being, as you said, like the Southern girl or the girly girl. Like, how did you connect that? Or how were you able to connect that?
Okay, at its core, etiquette is a simple kindness and courtesy for others. And the customs and courtesies in the military are about respect, making sure we have respect amongst the ranks of the military and ensuring that we maintain order. And, we hear in church all the time, do things decent and in order. And and knowing proper etiquette helps us to do that, to make sure we maintain decency, whether it be in our interactions with other people, sitting and dining with our family, or perhaps a business colleague. It We use it everywhere in our lives, and sometimes we can be in spaces and not be sure what I'm supposed to do or how this is supposed to go. And that's what makes etiquette training very important, so that you can be confident in those spaces.
So I'm going to throw something out that is, how does culture impact etiquette? Because what is common and expected in one situation, in one place, on one landmass, may not be, the right thing to do in another. So if I'm learning etiquette in a particular place, and then I have to go travel, I have to go do business elsewhere, I'm going to vacation, is there, of course, we would think that there's a universal law of etiquette, which is just being respectful to another person and showing respect. It's I don't really mean to repeat the same word, but showing a level of humility and honor for the other person. And that, yes, can get lost in translation. So how do I make sure that when I'm somewhere else, those laws still apply?
The same rules apply, not specifically for specific customs and courtesies, but the same principle applies. Etiquette is a kindness and courtesy for other people. So that means if you're going to visit and interact with another culture, you need to educate yourself on that other culture, so that you can make sure that you're still being respectful.
I totally agree with that. I do hope that when people are watching at this time, oh, thank you. We have some of our folks who are sharing the video. Beautiful. And yes, I see my mama here. Hello, mama. That's my respect. Hey, mama. Uh, that when we're being trying to be respectful and to learn the laws of the land, if you will, or some people will say, like, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Please, y'all, as y'all are watching this, you're live on the replay, drop like those phrases or those things that you learned along the way about what was expected in certain spaces, and maybe what was told to you about respecting someone else when you go somewhere else. So I know I have one, and my mother taught me, so I'm gonna say it. We were taught as I was growing up, when you go to somebody else's house, you don't ask for anything. Like, if they offer you water, you might be able to drink the water, but don't go to nobody's house asking them for no food. Make sure you eat before you go. But let's talk about the one of the groups that you really, really love to offer support and training to, and that's young girls. So tell me how you got into that, and what do you have going on for our young ladies, and why do we need a return to etiquette classes for our young ladies? Blink, blink, blink.
Um, I think that we need to return to it because we're seeing a lot of our young ladies with self confidence issues, um, just um, issues with maintaining and building relationships in a healthy manner. And I think that um, with those issues, if we can start within, build that confidence, I think that would make all the difference. Um, and I wouldn't necessarily say that it's completely died. I think just some people, well, let me rephrase. I think that we're not necessarily returning. I think that reminding, we're reminding people that it is important. It is very important because I think parents are teaching what they know, and some of them just don't know. So we don't think that they're doing or not doing it because they don't value it. They just don't know. They just don't know.
Okay. So now here's where it can get a little touchy,
Mhm.
and I'm following your lead here. So the last thing you said is they just don't know. If some people don't know or they choose to move as a result of, even though they were taught, but what is expected in certain situations, and then those expectations fall onto the next generation, then yes, the people who are going to say, well, here's a way to have decorum,
Mhm.
and then people look at that and say, that's not for me. I'm not doing all that. There are moments that you wonder, it's like, well, if you want, if you want, what is it? That flies will be attracted to honey and not vinegar.
Mhm.
You keep dishing them vinegar, and that's why, there's certain things not working. But then people just say, well, this is just the way I am, and this is just the way it's going to be. Well, then to an extent, you're going to get stuck if you don't know the many ways to be. And I think I've seen that if we say, you can keep being who you are in this particular space, adding on this additional layer will get you into more doors. So I definitely want to hear about the classes that you are doing, and who you're speaking to and how you speak to them. Like I'm in New York, and what state are you in? Come on, shout it out.
I am in Louisiana.
Louisiana. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anybody from the South over here? Anybody from the South watching? Please share this with somebody from the South, because we got to have the y'all know I'm from Brooklyn, right? Born and raised, Brooklyn in a house, Flatbush born and bred. But we about to have like a northern southern little like tay here. Okay, I'm just saying, in love. Uh, but I do honor and respect, of course, the I guess the ideology of like the Southern Belle.
Mhm.
Take me back to how these like courtesies are part of the moniker
Mhm.
of being a Southern Belle. Like, what is a Southern Belle? And then let's find out like how you're trying to teach that to other young ladies. And can you swing up here at least virtually and sort of show some of that to us northern folks who y'all are probably thinking y'all are just a cad. Y'all have no demeanor.
Firstly, I would not say that about anyone. I
Out
I will.
loud. Out loud.
um, I'll say that first. I think we get the term Southern Belle because a lot of that is it's so deeply ingrained into Southern girls from the time they're itty bitty. Um, and I think most Southern women have just a little Southern belle in them. Uh, being raised by their mothers, grandmothers, there's always a little bit of that in them. And I will say that um, being a Southern belle is kind of my brand of femininity. But every woman's version of femininity does not have to look the same. You don't have to think that if you take an etiquette class, you have to do and be exactly as Romunda is. You don't have to look at it that way.
Mhm.
You can have decorum and know proper customs and courtesies, and you can still package it as you. It doesn't have to change who you are. You don't have to feel like it will make you pretentious. Yeah.
And so I bring that up because when young ladies, and now I'm definitely speaking as a New Yorker. So if people are have New York parents and grandparents, and they have not necessarily spent a lot of time in the South, whether it be vacationing or not just vacationing, but really we're just a couple of generations realistically of having like deep Southern roots,
Hmm.
realistically. And so whether you're from that part of the South or you're from the Caribbean, so I'm speaking about this group of folks, when young ladies leave the North, in the North specifically, and then go to HBCUs, which primarily are in the South, I hear and feel this, even though it's you're let's say in a black school, let's say here in the North, and you go to the South, there's a couple of different variations, but you're, let's say, a black student in a black school in the North, you go to a black school in the South of a college and you go to HBCU, there's like this culture shock of, well, I thought black was white. Well, we got the same melanin popping, but the cultural etiquette is different. The expectations are different. The how you let's just say how you parlay, how you prance, how you stroll, how you step, how you engage in conversations with females, and then from a female perspective, how you engage in conversations with female to male, how you respect elders, and there's just this word, uh, uh, how you show up authentically, and what that looks like if you're from, let's say, Team Natural. That, not to say there isn't Team Natural, and those of you who know that there isn't Team Natural in the South, but I've just seen how many, like, let's say, marching bands, how many like dance teams from of in colleges do I see where a lot of the young ladies, their hair is a specific way. And if you're not a part of that, you're like, well, can I just show up authentically as I will, as I'd like? And there's this like, so I'm saying that because I know that part of your target market are young ladies. So we're talking about teenage girls. And so when you talk about, of course, self-confidence, believing in yourself, loving yourself, what are some of the tips? And then I know you have a giveaway for us. I know you do.
I
Those
do.
people who are here, please, do you see the link at the bottom? It says Mocha Southern Belle. SOE. That SOE stands for something very specific, but it's Mocha Southern Belle, SOE.com. So if you are fancy like that, you can actually open up a new tab, type that in, Mocha Southern Belle, SOE.com, and see what she's offering for us tonight. But tell us what Mocha Southern Belle, SOE is, and how you design these courses for young ladies.
Okay, Mocha Southern Belle School of Etiquette is that's what the SOE stands for, School of Etiquette. Um, it is a school of etiquette. We teach etiquette in multiple areas, from table etiquette to teaching young ladies how to sit and walk gracefully, teaching young men about chivalry, teaching business etiquette. Um, Communication etiquette through our greeting and communicating effectively course. All those courses are designed for all ages really. I especially have a heart for the young people, but it can be taught to any age group. Um, and those courses are designed to be interactive, and to teach young people specific etiquette skills that they can use throughout their day-to-day life. If they perhaps end up at some formal event, some dinner, or what have you, that they can be confident in their interactions in those spaces because they know that they have been trained on how to handle themselves in those spaces.
Okay, okay, all right. So what does a normal course like an etiquette 101? Let's say you were talking to a group of young ladies, and those people who know that I am in a couple of different spaces, so I'm definitely trying to get Ramunda to come in and talk to a group of young ladies that I know in order to prepare them. And I'm saying prepare them because as parents will do, as you said earlier, they will teach what they know. And when our young ladies, as they are going through high school, preparing for college, and either entering college or entering the workforce as a young adult, there are certain ways that you show up, whether in your dress, in your speech, in your eye contact, in your, handshaking, or you're moving about a space, what is appropriate dress code. And I'm not saying that you have to wear 2-inch pumps and the white shirt and the pencil skirt or what have you, but there's just a way to show up so that you look put together, and however put together looks and what can be afforded. But tell us about like one of the classes that we can say, hey, you know what? And I know you're virtual, so you might be able to put together a little class. What does a class look like so that we can say, yes, we do want this for some of our young ladies?
So our classes are broken up into several parts because it's a lot of information to take in, especially for young people. And we want them to have a chance to um, uh, explore some practical application of those skills. So that's why we have to break it up so that they don't get tired out from being bombarded with so much information. But I would say two of the most important ones would be table etiquette and the sitting and walking gracefully. We cover a little bit about attire. We cover how young ladies should conduct themselves as they walk, as just basic things. If you drop something on the floor, how a young lady should pick that item up off the floor. Um, just a wide variety of things. But also for young ladies, another really useful tool that I have put together is a interactive journal. Uh,
I
this
love journals. What is it? Let me see. Let me see. Okay, wait, let me read it. It says, girls with dreams become women with vision. Wait, stop right there. Stop right there. If anyone is watching and you know of, if you have a daughter, a granddaughter, a niece, a goddaughter like me, if you connect with any young girls groups, please get your hands on one or two or three of these and bless a young girl. This would be an excellent, and I've seen it, that's why I know. This would be an excellent graduation gift if they are in middle school, going to high school, if they're high school, going to college, if it's their sweet 16. This is an amazing, amazing interactive journal. So, okay, that was just my commercial pitch because I know about it. So, tell us. Go ahead.
So this journal has about 30 journal prompts in it. And those journal prompts are designed for self-discovery, self-reflection. A lot of our young people really struggle with who they are and learning things about themselves that will help them navigate different spaces. And one of um, the things that we also cover in here is um, relationship green flags. I know we're all talking about red flags now, and that's just a big buzzword, but I felt that it would be really powerful to focus on the green flags, focus on the things that we need to look for in relationships, whether it
Okay.
be friendships, um, as they start to explore dating as young women. I think it's very important that we teach young people what to look for just as well as what to stay away from. And that's why I included that. There's a section in the journal that covers biblical references for who God says you are,
Okay.
because a lot of times our young people struggle with it, with those areas, and it can be really helpful to have reminders that they can look at, and be grounded when things feel a little shaky for them. Um, and there's also empty or blank pages so they can write their own little thoughts or notes or what have you, as they go through the journal and fill it out. Um, I mean, I have vision board pages so that they can do their own little vision board if they choose to. It's a lot of great material, a lot of great tools for young people, or especially young women, as they grow into young women.
Okay. All right. Now, I literally just thought of like other groups. So there are a number of civic organizations that specifically mentor and seek to mentor young girls, and to have girls groups. Of course, we know of Girl Scouts. We know of, I'm just trying to think of some well noted young girls groups or support groups. Please, people, if you know of whether it be a church, a civic organization, a women's group that does mentoring for young girls, this would be a really excellent journal to get to gift to bless some young girls with. Number one. Number two, and that's just one opportunity to connect with Sister Ramunda, or to have like a course. And so, how many of us, we're still in Zoom land, we're still in Ronaville. And so, if you already have a ministry, a service, a community group that is trying to get young girls together, why not have? I'm hoping that this is a possibility. I'm sure it is, to have you virtually, even if you're from Louisiana, I can get a couple of, young girls, or at least groups, to do one of these sessions for some young girls. And so this was great. So table etiquette. Now I'm gonna be very facetious, very, very silly right now. So I happen to have some spoons. You mean I can't put both of these on the table at the same time? Why not?
Probably not.
We both work. Actually, I wanted to say that one thing. So I went to a high school that, and those of you who are from New York, from Brooklyn, I went to Erasmus Hall High School. Shout out! I am a proud Dutchman. I'm a proud and Erasmian. And there's only a part of our school that had what's called hospitality management. And in that program, you had to be in that program. Did you learn like this extensive sort of table manners and how to set a table, and how there's, child, I don't know, you're gonna have to tell me, how 3 spoons on like a formal table setting, tablespoon, teaspoon, dessert spoon?
Yes.
All right. Is there a
Um, there's a dessert fork as well.
oh,
Yes.
I gotta
Yeah.
go back to class.
And
But wait. So wait, this is the thing that almost kind of bothered me. Outside of that, unless you participated in a cotillion, what other spaces and places do young girls and young boys have the opportunity en masse to participate in moments like this? How? Like how? Where?
I, other than etiquette consultants that get and put together events, there really aren't many spaces. you I know in the South they used to have like home economics. I think you
Oh,
they
that
called it.
was that was
Yeah,
gone with the 80s. We
yeah,
had home
yeah.
economics in middle school here in Brooklyn, but that probably went away about 3 or 4 years later.
So in the absence of those things, you really don't have many opportunities or spaces that you can do that.
So this is why, because when we have young people, that say, uh, "Oh, let's say like I'm going to set a table," and they just put, let's say, the fork. Maybe they put a knife, and it's like, well, why do I need a spoon? I'm not eating ice cream. Or when you say to a young person, "So go get the teaspoons," and they pull the tablespoons, or vice versa. But if the family does not have, let's say, the Sunday dinners, and maybe if your grandparent is still here and they still continue a Sunday dinner, number one, and or like the Thanksgiving or the Christmas or the Mother's Day, when they put the formal table together, you're not necessarily, that's not a part of your practice. And I'm looking for somebody. Actually, I see a number of our sister friends are savvies. So you know who those are, a number of our savvies who are watching, and they're like, oh, giving us all these great tips. So we have uh, Sade, who says Southern Belle here. We have some other sister friends, Anisha, some of my friends from high school, just loving it, sister Leslie, people from all across the country and the world, because we have some people in the Caribbean who are here, who are watching. But what's a way, like a safe way, without like stepping on toes, to bring some of these protocols, some of this etiquette, like back into our lives? So we talked to sort of about like eating, but what about dress? Let's talk about dress for a moment. So I know you have a business etiquette class.
I
What
do.
are some things, and like, just remember that we talked about the rule of 14, like 14 items for an interview.
Oh yes, yeah.
I know I was taught that, but like after I went to a couple of interviews, and then someone said like 14. I was like, 14 what? What? Like, you can't have more than 14 items. I was like, who remembers that? Who remembers like the rule of 14? Drop in the comments if y'all remember the rule of 14 or ever heard of it, and can drop the 14 things that like you should have to have on, but that you shouldn't have more. You know what I mean? But like, talk about like why is that like a big thing in terms of business etiquette? Like what you wear, how you carry yourself.
Because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. When you
Ooh, can
walk
somebody type
into
that in the chat?
when you walk into an interview, you are being evaluated from the moment you step through the door. And people, the interviewer is looking for someone who will potentially represent their business.
That's right.
And everything you do, wear, say will be evaluated through that lens. So that when you step in those spaces, you need to make sure that you know something about the company that you're interviewing for. You need to make sure that you that lines up with your values and beliefs, and that you walk in ready to represent that. Um, because if you're not prepared for that, chances are you won't interview well. But it is very important that we present ourselves in the best light when we go to an interview. That means that we're making sure that we're dressed appropriately. And for different companies, that appropriately may be something different, but you need to be aware of that.
Right. And do your research. So
Right.
now this is actually something that's very interesting, because and it's literally happening right before our faces. The expectations of what business etiquette looks like, let's just say even in terms of dress code, and showing up authentically, there's almost a very fine line that, in my eyes, gets crossed. So those people who are in, and let's say certain industries, and I'm only going to speak about those which I have more familiarity with, just because of my own immediate, uh, the people that I spend time with the most, let's put it like that: the music industry and the technology industry. So the expectations of what if you were going to, and some people say corporate versus non-corporate, or corporate versus nonprofit, or corporate versus like almost like let's say retail. A good white shirt is still a good white shirt. A good white blouse is still a good white blouse. Whether you're the pencil skirt person or the A-line, dress person, the black sheath is still a black sheath. The navy blue pants for gentlemen is still the navy blue pants and the blazer. Sometimes those lines are crossed. It's very interesting. So when I say to young people, I'll say certain young people, well, do you have your like your business suit ready to go to the interview? And they're like, why do I need that? They need to like accept me for who I am, and I'm going to show up as, what I want, because it's all in here and I don't need to put on quote unquote any airs. But then you see the people who are at that office space and they're like in t-shirt and jeans. So the expectations of what etiquette looked like for us as we were growing up, there's this like fine line that I'm almost not even sure like what to say. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel any pushback, or do you get any pushback of like, oh, that was back in the ages, or that was for the older people? We don't need to do any of that anymore. What do you say when people are like, oh, that's not for me, or that's how other people do. That's not how I do, and I'm gonna do what I do. What do you say to that?
Um, my personal take on that is, you set your own standard.
But then you gonna live by those standards.
Right. I I personally want to present my best self to the world. It makes me feel better, and that's not about thinking you're better than other people. It's just when you look better, you feel better. Plain and simple. And if you go into an office space where other people have relaxed their dress code, that doesn't mean you have to. If it is your personal value, core value, and standard to operate in excellence, you do that, no matter what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. And some people would say, oh, it's not that serious. Okay. Like I can hear it in my head because I heard a couple of days ago. Someone was referring to Mark Zuckerberg. Now, this is not pertaining to the social media platform that was he constructed, but
Mhm.
the comment was, well, he doesn't show up to, or like Gary V. And those people who are in the social media world, you'll know who Gary V is. They don't show up in business suits. They show up in like t-shirt and jeans. My response is, and I don't know if when they first showed up, they had on that suit and slacks, or the brown leather belt with the matching shoes and that whole color coordination thing. I don't know. But they are where they are now. And they can wear that t-shirt and jeans if they want to, because they own the company.
Mhm.
Or they're at the top of the pinnacle. And if that's the way they want to show up, they show up. Now, whether or not they expect that for the people that come in, you may not know that, and you should not presume that you can walk in that space like the big person. So there should still be an expectation that even if you just put on that, and I'm speaking about the gentleman right now, that classic white button down shirt and maybe some slacks, brown belt, brown shoes, or black belt, black shoes, whatever that color combination is supposed to be. And for the ladies, however, but don't think you can show up. How did they say? Don't think you can show up at 6 o'clock. No, how do I say it? Like at the end of the party. No, I'm saying it wrong. You know what I'm talking about? Like, don't think you can show up on on day one as if you've been there for 5, 10 years.
Right.
And I think some of that needs to still be shared with people.
Yes. Um, and I think we also need to be careful who we try to emulate, because, as you said, you don't know the process that they took to get to where they are. Um, you have to run your own race. And when you get there, if you are in a position where you can change the company culture, the company standards, then okay. But we're not there yet.
Not there yet. And you can't, well, again, now I feel like a parent. You can't be running in there. I know, mom, you hear me. You can't be running in there sort of flipping tables and like saying this is gonna go down. And either A, you don't own part of the company, you're not vested in the company, you're not a part of the C-suite. When you become a part of the C-suite, and those people who know what the C-suite is, then you might be able to sort of open your mouth and say something. Until then, I'm not going to say know your place. I'll say recognize the place that you are in. Right? Now, let's focus on the journal again. So you definitely said that there is some like vision board work. There is some affirmations in there. What does it do for us when we finish this book, or what, because we're going to gift it to some young ladies? What is it? So you know what? Wait, I have a comment, and this is from my big sis from college who taught me a lot of things. So bless you, Annie. She says, I feel the same way about Spike Lee. How he is now, capitalized now, may not be how he was. Same thing for Fubu. Those of you who know the brand Fubu, which is Damon John. And he isn't on Shark. Oh, that's right. He isn't on Shark Tank in the Fubu gear. Wait, let me just say that again. Those of you who know, right, David John started Fubu. This is what, 20, 25 years ago? He he wore Fubu back then because that was his thing. He not sitting on Shark Tank in the Fubu outfit. He's sitting right up there with the other guys. Mark, what's the other guy's name? Mark, I forgot his name. But the other two guys and the young and the lady, they're sitting there in the same type of outfits. As much money as he has, that's how he shows up. As a matter of fact, same thing with the NBA. How about that? As as from what I remember, the NBA, you are and your National Basketball Association, you have to get to the court in a suit because this is business. Now, when you get into the locker room and you change into the outfit of the day, you put on the sneakers and whatever, but you put that suit on when before and after. I'm just saying, right? Robert and Mr. Wonderful and Lori. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Shar. Yes, Robert, Mr. Wonderful, and Lori. Those are the other people on the Shark Tank. That's right. And you say, they're all wearing the same thing or same kind of thing. So what are we going to finish? How will we be after we finish reading this? And those of you who are just here, maybe you're a little tardy to the party, we are talking about etiquette. Mark Cuban, thank you very much. Right, Mark Cuban. So we're talking about etiquette. We're talking about Mocha Southern Belle SOE. We're talking about Romunda Guice. This is her business. She has a wonderful thing that you can snag if you go to mochasouthernbelleSOE.com. I'm going to drop the link. I think I can drop the link now. So you should see it. There we go. There it is. Good. In the comments, and I'm actually going to pin it. There it is. There it is. mochasouthernbelleSOE.com/complimentary resources. But if you go on mochasouthernbelleSOE.com, there's a pop-up that will show up in about like 2 seconds, and just drop your information in there and get the free complimentary resources. And again, bless like some young ladies that you know. And this is not just for teenagers. Like literally, this could be for someone who's just started into college, right? Or someone who is post high school and thinking about what they want to do, right? And so when they finish going through this, and it's like, what is it, a 30-day? Tell us a little bit more about it.
Okay. So it there are 30 prompts, journal prompts, and I'll just read you some of the prompts. Like one of them is, what is the hardest challenge you have overcome? Um, or describe yourself in one word. Um, these prompts, what they do is they help young ladies think about who they are at their core and learn more about themselves. And when you know more about yourself, you can better navigate spaces and decide whether that is a space for you. It's easier to say, you know what, I know me and what really matters to me, what's really important to me, and I don't think this is a space for me, or I don't think that this group is for me, or I don't think that this set of friends or whatever is for me. Um, and so the main goal is self discovery, self reflection. Um, I did this book, this journal, in hopes to help a lot of young women as they journey into being young women, young girls, and with their journey into young womanhood, because a lot of us, I think, struggle with some of these things as we are blossoming into young ladies. And I want to reach back and help other young people in those areas so they don't have to make some of the same mistakes, make some of the same, or have some of the same problems that some of us may have had. So that's the main goal of this, so that young ladies can have a smoother transition. Um, and I've had older ladies say that they've enjoyed the journal as well, not just young girls. Um, Moms, I've had mom people who have children already were like, I really loved it. So don't feel like you can't, get it because you're not a young lady or girl. It could work for any age.
Excellent. So, it's interesting. I have some amazing comments, and I really love my stream team. I really appreciate you all. So, one of my brothers, a brother who I supported in having his own show, and that's Brother Camp. He said they changed the suit and tie under Commissioner Silver. Oh, so they can arrive in anything now. Oh,
Oh,
okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. So, thank you. I stand corrected. And another person said, oh my, I'm starting to pull together for a small youth group retreat, and these prompts would work on the Friday evening and Saturday evening after dinner talk. Therefore, I think someone will be getting a couple of copies of this planner. That would be fabulous. So I would definitely love to see how the planner does work for people in communities. Again, if you're in young adult retreats or young adult teenagers, what have you, or even just women's groups. Thank yous. Yes. So oh wow. Hi. So someone just said mothers and daughters can even do this together.
mhm.
Excuse me. Aren't we coming up to Mother's Day?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I'm just saying. I'm just
That
saying.
that is a very good use for it too. And that's a great thing. Like she said, mothers and daughters can do it together. I personally, as a mom, I do that a lot. I see resources and I use it as a conversation for my daughter and I. It helps us to remain connected. I get to know kind of what she's thinking, um, and if there's anything I can help her with. Because a lot of parents are, get a little lost. Like, what do I need to talk about? What do I need to say? What are they struggling with? And this would definitely be a great way to kind of segue into those conversations.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Thank you so much for the people who are, again, part of my stream team and who are dropping comments and questions. So please, this is Ramunda Guice. She is from Louisiana, and I'm trying to practice to say it like that because my New York accent wants to say Louisiana. I'm trying. But she's from Louisiana, and she has the Mocha Southern Belle SOE School of Etiquette. And she has, again, she has a journal, but she also has courses and classes that are bite-sized, but that of course can be done through the Zoom world that we're still in for whatever group. And so I don't have to buy her a plane ticket. We just need to say, this is the course and this is how much it costs and come do it for this group. So, everyone have a bite. Thank you. Great state, love the gumbo. Thanks a lot. Well, we can go to Louisiana for some etiquette as well. Thank you very much. So as we just start to sort of wrap up, so I know you have the journal, you have some courses, and so I think you also say you have courses on business etiquette, and then
Yes.
like table manners or protocols.
Table etiquette and protocol. Yes.
Okay, and then there's one other that I wanted to ask you about. Can you please show me the little pouch?
Oh, now they're not listed yet,
That's
but
okay. I just want people when they see it, they're like, "What is that?" Now hold on, folks. Do you see what she has in front of her? Do you see? Just type in the comment what you see and what you think it is. And then let me tell you this genius. Let me tell you this genius. I'm still traveling. I try to be uniform. I try. Do my best. A good piece of luggage is priceless. Priceless. Who designs their own luggage? Hey, let's right. Who designs their own luggage? Guess who? She designed the luggage. Wait, it's not just a cosmetic bag, Leslie. Right, toiletries bag. Right, okay. But wait. Hold up, hold up. Now, I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry. But she has the one that's on wheels. That's the swivelly thing. She
the
designed
past.
it. That looks set. Who designs luggage? I didn't even know you could design luggage. I didn't. She did that. She did that. So I'm very proud. So this sister right here like has an entire suite of offerings. So if you ever see those stripes with that little bow going through the airport, you saw it right here on the digital couch because it's not even listed yet. So please go on Mocha Southern Belle SOE. Actually, Mocha Southern Belle SOE is a school of etiquette, but it will also pop you over into mochasouthernbelle.com, correct?
That's correct. At the
And
top,
that
there's a
website
tab that
has
says Mocha Southern Belle merchandise.
wonderful. Oh my gosh, I'm so enthralled. Listen, I say this a lot. I say this a lot, and it is true. I roll with the best. I roll with the best. This sister right here, she and I are actually on like a weekly work group. So one person said it's beautiful, it's nice, it looks lovely, and then one of our sisters, Shar, says, "Just take all of my money." Mocha Southern Belle. So what we got? She got a journal, she got classes, she got luggage. I'm gonna need a piece of that luggage. I'm telling you right now. Forget this old stuff I had. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that bag. So look what Rona has done. Just
Yeah.
look what Rona has done. Yes, very creative. Thank you, brother Cam. Very creative. I am so amazed. I'm so enamored. Wait, let me sit up straight and not slouch. Let me demonstrate that my mama taught me something. But honestly, so a lot of these social graces are they're kind of being left to the side. And even though we have I want to say to a certain extent a different environment and a different cadre of young people who are rewriting the etiquette rules when they step into certain rooms that still expect this decorum, this modicum of propriety, they should have it an additional layer. I'll call it an additional layer of language, of cultural and linguistic expectations that work in different rooms. So if you want to, let's say, just be relaxed, I'll use that phrase, be relaxed in certain spaces. That's fine. And you use your own language. Thank you. Let me add decorum. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Annie. Right. Decorum. Or my other phrase, someone type it in, modicum of propriety. That's my little $1,000 word. But if you want to be in that space and have that, just know that when you walk into other spaces, you can walk in with the same linguistic code of ethics, but the people in that room are going to read you a little different. And they may not necessarily treat you like you came to be treated. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. Thank you. But see, I'm telling you, my people love me. Thank you, modicum of propriety. Look it up. So tell us one more time, like how can we find you? What can we look forward to seeing from you in the next 3 months, 6 months? What does 2022 look like for you? Because we want to get our manners right. Not just don't put the elbows on the table, you know, don't use a toothpick to pick your teeth after dinner at a formal table. I'm sorry.
Please, let's not.
As a matter of fact, leave the table if you have to blow your nose. Leave the table. What can we look forward to during this year from you?
Well, over the next few months, I plan to be rolling out some more products. As you spoke about before, the luggage, um, having, of course, courses are offered all the time. If anyone is looking to have a course, um, uh, an individual course, or have a group of students for a course, you can reach out to me on social media. Um,
At where?
at Mocha Southern Belle SOE.
Okay.
Um,
And that's on Facebook. Is it on
on
IG?
Facebook, Instagram,
Okay.
or you go to my website and fill out a contact form. Either way, you can reach me, and we can set up something. Um, as I said, there'll be products rolling out. If you're interested in staying up to date on those products, follow me on social media, or um, subscribe to my mailing list on my website, and it'll keep you abreast of all the things that we have coming up. And we just look forward to working with anyone who is interested in our courses.
I need to make sure that I don't use the bread knife for to cut my mushrooms. And listen, I say that in love, but I just remember the first time that I went to a very formal dinner, and I must have been a teenager. I don't remember where I was, but I must have been a teenager. And I remember seeing all of the flatware, like, forks, the knives up at the top, and then the spoons, and then there was a spoon up there. And I was just like, and I was trying to look at everybody else, like, what am I supposed to do?
That's
And
what I was going to say.
I was almost hungry because I was like, what do I use? But little things like that they're really important.
Because
And
you don't want to be in a situation where you have to watch other people to figure out what you need to do. I mean, you can do that if you absolutely have to, but you don't want that to be what you have to resort to.
right, right. So thank you so much. I really thank all the people. There are actually a lot of people. I'm so proud of those people who are watching. Please give a follow to Mocha Southern Belle. If you want to, go real hard and like go get you some luggage or step up your luggage game for the ladies in your life, because this is about bells. Bows, somebody else is gonna take care of y'all. I'm just saying.
We
Or
have
if
some things for the bows too.
okay,
We
okay.
we have some things for the bows too. Yes.
The bowls got stuff too. All right. Or again, bless a young lady with a journal. And listen, I know that I have brothers out here who are actually listening. This is the impetus for the brothers to design their own men journal too. Men jot down things, plans, ideas, dreams. They do that as well. And men have they have work to do just like women have work to do. So allow this opportunity to be an impetus, to be an inspiration, to influence, impact, inculcate, whatever the juices are so that we can step out in this world, show up better, show up authentically, yes, but have another level of manners and etiquette to lean on and to be our lenses for. So once again, thank you so much, Sister Ramanda. I appreciate you. This is mochasouthernbelle.com and Mocha Southern Belle SOE. It is right down in the comments below. And thank you to my Camel family. You know who you are. To my church family, to my savvies, to my high school folks who are out there. Welcome to the digital couch. We have our mugs now. Please join us next week. March is filled. March is filled and April is now filled. I'm telling you right now, I'm probably going to take May off because May is my birthday month. But we have digital couch episodes during the entire month of March, Women's History Month. So we're celebrating all the great women that I have connected with over the last couple of months and years. April is filled as well. But if you are really, really itching to sit on the couch, please just slide into my DM. There's a contact form that I have, and I will be putting you just see that I'm just loving my mug. Can y'all just see I'm just loving my mug? So we have just added mugs. So if you have been a part of the Digital Couch community, then of course you can get and this is like a 15-ounce mug. Because I need 2 cups of tea. I'm just saying, 2 cups of tea. But if you have been on the couch or you want to be on the couch, you want to be a part of the Digital Couch community, we're going to get you a mug. I love you all. Peace and blessings. Oh, love to hear these tips. Thank you for the variety of Digital Couch offerings. I love you all. So, peace and blessings. This is a Learn to Grow You moment where I plant seeds to help you grow. I want you to take the information that you have and get some inspiration connected with it and move it into a positive direction. I look forward to seeing you all next Monday here on the Digital Couch. I'll see you all next time. If you have any questions or comments, especially for myself or for Sister Ramanda, please just drop it in the comments and we will respond in the next 24 to 48 hours. Peace and love.